We know that you've been contacted by a certain individual. A man who calls himself Morpheus. Now, whatever you think you know about this man is irrelevant. He is considered by many authorities to be the most dangerous man alive. My colleagues believe that I'm wasting my time with you, but I believe you wish to do the right thing. We're willing to wipe the slate clean, give you a fresh start. And all that we're asking in return is your cooperation in bringing a known terrorist to justice.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like a really good deal. But I think I got a better one. How about I give you the finger, and you give me my phone call?
Oh, Mr. Anderson. You disappoint me.
You can't scare me with this Gestapo crap. I know my rights. I want my phone call.
Tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak?
Okay, let's just talk about the opponent. Your opponent wants the same thing as your hero. He wants the same thing, and he wants it more than your hero wants it. Your opponent should have an absolutely cast-iron justification and motivation for why they want it. A little bit darker. Also, tip the odds in their favour. I mean, that's a very, very compelling scene. You know when you saw the first scene from The Matrix, and you see Agent Smith? What a fantastic opponent. I mean, this is like, but this is not a new thing, it's not a recent thing. It was there in Beowulf. Grenville, pretty bad opponent. Grendel, pretty bad opponent. The Epic of Gilgamesh from like 5,000 years ago, also a pretty bad opponent. Very cunning, very clever. It's a very, very sort of time and tested story technique. Okay, you got a few seconds. Find your opponent, give them a name, make them dark and badass. Okay, anybody want to venture one? Good one? Someone? Okay, the next thing. Any ideas what it could be? Another spoke to your wheel? The plan. Organically linked to the want and the opponent. You want this thing. First of all, you take the easiest route, and I'm going to get that thing. Suddenly, bam, something's in your way, an obstacle. Your opponent's always one step ahead as well. Here is an attempt to defeat the opponent and reaching the goal. And this occupies the kind of, it's the plotting of the film, it's the substance of the film. It's not the kind of hub of the wheel, but it's the kind of like, it's the sort of, it's a pretty important part of the wheel, but not the kind of core of the film. This is what we watch in a film, we enjoy this stuff. In The Matrix, it's full of all this kind of stuff. Getting the guns, saving Morpheus. That's his plan. First of all, his plan changes a little bit. First of all, he wants to know the truth about the Matrix. Takes the red pill, goes into the Matrix, checking it out, a bit of a tourist. Morpheus trusts him, feels a moral obligation to the guy, can't let him down. Oh God, he's gone, he's been kidnapped. Let's save him. Let's get all those guns and go and save him. So the plan adapts. But he's coming up against two all the time. Agent Smith. And it's called dramatic escalation. The tension gets more and more and more. And the threat gets higher and higher and higher. And the proximity between the hero and the opponent gets more and more and more. Blah, blah, blah. Example, Hamlet. What's Hamlet's plan? Hamlet's plan is to find out if his surrogate father, if his stepfather killed his real dad by putting on a play. Great story. Play within a play. This is where stories come from. Character core conflicts, unconscious consciousness. That's what it's all about, knowing the self. Right, so the next thing, conflicts escalate, escalate, escalate until this moment. Like I say, I'm using this as a very kind of cartoon version of what I'm talking about. Can be a courtroom drama, could be like on Golden Pond, can be what you like. But there's a battle. And what happens in the battle? There's a conflict between the hero and the opponent increases as the story progresses. The battle is so intense that the hero is almost defeated. And then we get this moment. The moment of death. We call it the touch of death. Again, it can be metaphorical or it can be actual in this case. This is the moment when the person, their idea of who they are, is killed. And what's left? Who they actually are. Again, not a new thing, this happens in Beowulf. He gets devoured by the dragon. I think he's gone. He breaks out the dragon's belly. Same thing. During the heat of the battle, and this is the biggie. This is the kind of like, you've got two, it's a tent. You've got one pole at the beginning, the need, and at the other pole at the other end of the film is the self-realization. When the need comes out of the unconscious motivating factor, you become conscious of it. Neo, stripped away, he's right down to the kind of metal of the kind of the nub of the point. Does he believe this stuff? Does he believe that the bullets are real? The true self breaks free, and he believes. He believes. The hero is reborn as his true self. Think about the scene in Star Wars, at the end when the evil emperor is killing Luke. You keep seeing these cuts of Darth Vader looking from one to the other. So watching, killing my son, not my son. Same thing. Kind of moment of, it's the kind of the fulcrum of the whole film. The hero is now conscious of the unconscious forces that were causing him to act immorally at the start of the film. Realization need not be positive also. Anyone, Macbeth, he has a realization at the end. Oh my God, I am mortal. I thought I was immortal. No, I'm mortal, oh shit. Angel Heart, who's seen Angel Heart? Great film, Mickey Rourke. He realizes he was the man he was hunting. He was the killer. Example, Darth Vader. Okay, so the self-realization. After the self-realization... Sorry. Okay, so the last moments of the film, this is the self-realization.
Now get up.
pretty profound moment. I mean, absolute transformation from the guy at the beginning, guy at the end. That's the hub of that film's wheel. New equilibrium. All returns to normal, loose ends tied up. Hero is now at a higher level, or lower level, if you look there. The hero's potential is realized. Think about the Silence of the Lambs. At the beginning, she's kind of very inadequate person, troubled by dreams. At the end, she's complete. She's working in a man's world with complete confidence. You got impossible task, 10-15 seconds, well, half a minute. Just think about your film. Think about what this person, what's going to make this person change. And just even if you just think about it, just to kind of like put the concept into practice. Think about your little story. If you want to finish it off afterwards, that's fine. You can take my email address. I'd love to see this stuff as well. If you follow these things up, start to put these principles into practice. Okay, have a chat. Just a quick thing about what a story's for. So, same words from the film. If you recognise them on the little plaque. You go and see a film. With all of your sense of who you think you are, you enter into this kind of group hallucination on the screen. Something happens to the hero. At the end of the film, in this kind of genre, there's a transformation from who the hero, the concept of the person thinks they are, to who they actually are. And when we go into that film, at the end of that film, that's tapping into some complete primal need we've had for thousands of years. So it doesn't matter whether you're here in an auditorium or 30,000 years ago in a cave. It's the same need, same urge. People in those days doing it all with kind of bits of pigments and a piece of charcoal, and the new people, the new shamans, making the same statements to our culture and healing the tribe. Okay, thank you.